Before starting this review, Apple just launched the 2020 8th Gen 10.2-inch iPad a few hours ago, which is exactly the same thing as this 7th Gen one, other than the fact that it has the faster A12 CPU. So this review is applicable to both the 2019 and the 2020 10.2-inch iPads. Alright, so this is the entry-level 10.2-inch iPad from Apple. I've had it for about 3 months now, and I am ready with my long-term review as fast as possible. First up, let's get the specs out of the way. I hope you read them, but even if you didn't, well, they don't really matter because this is an iPad and it is made by Apple, and when it comes to Apple, specs don't really matter. First up, let's talk about what in my opinion is the most important part of a tablet, the screen. This 10.2-inch screen is amazing for the price. Great punchy colors, great viewing angles, great touch response, and of course, great cheese. This screen is perfect for media consumption or even some occasional photo and video editing. Now this panel is not laminated, which means that there is a minuscule gap between the top glass and the display itself. Now this gap is not noticeable at all unless you really look for it, and in my experience it is completely fine and it's a non-issue. Also, this is a 60Hz panel unlike the 120Hz ProMotion display on the iPad Pros, but for this price a 60Hz screen is completely fine and justified, no problems there as well. Now the 10.2-inch iPad still has these chunky bezels unlike the iPad Air and the iPad Pro. But to be honest, on a tablet, I got no issues with bezels because you need a bezel as a part to hold on to when you're using it, so these get a pass. Next up, let's talk about the performance. The iPad has the A10 Fusion chipset, and the current newly launched 8th Gen iPad has the A12 chipset. Now, both of these processors are really great for an entry-level tablet like this. The A12, of course, is a little more powerful than the A10, but as far as I have used this, I've had zero problems with the performance with this A10 Fusion chipset, whether it be media consumption, playing games, or even photo and video editing. The A10 Fusion does a great job running this iPad. The A12, of course, is going to be even better than the A10, and because I've had no problems with the A10, I can confidently say that the A12 is capable enough and will handle any task you throw at it without breaking a sweat. It does occasionally heat up, but it's nothing crazy, it's fine, completely justified. I'm gonna load up any game from the App Store and these iPads will run it without any problems. Editing 1080p video is also a great experience on this iPad, but if you try 4K video editing, then you might see a frame drop here and there, but it's okay. 4K is a bit too overkill for an entry-level iPad like this. For all the artists and students out there, this iPad does support Apple Pencil, although only the first generation one, which has this hideous process of charging. It also has the smart connector on the bottom, so you can connect the smart keyboard accessory by Apple with this, and with the introduction of mouse support, you can easily use this as a mini laptop or even connect a PlayStation or Xbox controller to play games like Asphalt, Call of Duty, or there was this another really popular game full of toxic, sweaty kids. Yeah, that one worked really well as well. Speakers on this thing are great for media consumption, although not quite as good as the Pro models, but still this one does sport a really good set of speakers, great for media consumption. It also has this home button with Touch ID. Now Touch ID is great, although I prefer Face ID, but still Touch ID is still quite good. It's accurate and quick enough. Also, by the way, this button is an actual mechanical button, unlike the one on the iPhone 7a or SE, which have a force touch sensor in place of that home button. So this is a physical button. The headphone jack still lives on this iPad, which is great if you want to connect headphones or maybe even some musical instruments if you're into making music on apps like GarageBand, etc. Other than the headphone jack, it also has the lightning port, making this and the iPad mini the only iPads with lightning ports, since Apple ditched it on the iPad Air this year and replaced it with a USB-C port. But to be honest, Lightning is fine. USB-C is better, of course, but if you have cables running around already, Lightning it does pretty much the same thing. The power button and volume buttons are nice and tactile, no problems there as well. Although one of the volume buttons was a little kind of loose when I got it, and I checked online and a lot of people had that problem, but it doesn't really give any issues. If you talk about functionality or even the tactile experience, it's a good button, just a little loose. Not both of them, only one of them, so I don't think that's a big issue there, but just a little thing. The front and back cameras are nothing to write home about. They are barely good enough for video calling and document scanning. Alright, next let's talk about the OS experience. iPad OS is great. It does almost everything that a laptop does. App launch times are great. It's fast, it's smooth. What more do you want? And with Apple's industry-leading support cycles, this iPad is going to get new iPad OS updates for years to come. And iPad OS 14 runs like a charm on this thing. And that's pretty much it. These 10.2-inch iPads are an amazing deal. If you're thinking of getting one, go ahead. You will not regret it. Okay, that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.